Hello and welcome to Always Elite. Today we're going to review AEW Dynamite from August 5th, 2020. Before we get into that though, why don't you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell icon to stay up to date on what's coming up next. Now it starts right off with the 12-man tag, Dark Order versus the Elite and FTR. Brody Lee dominates very, very early in the match. Young Bucks and FTR wisely make a comeback using their tag team skills combined. They had some great triple and quadruple team moves. I thought it was a great first 10 minutes of the show. Page goes to the back with Cash and Dax. I think Dax is injured. He injured his knee, so it left a 6-on-3. I don't know if it's kayfabe or real. We'll have to wait and see. The Dark Order just completely annihilate them from then on in. Page comes back out towards the end, clears the ring. Page insisted that Brody Lee get in the ring. Brody Lee comes in and gets the better of Page. Brody ducks a buckshot lariat V-trigger combo, comes off the ropes and hits his discus clothesline and gets the 3 count for the win. Then John Moxley, earlier in the day, had recorded something that says when he was younger, he had a lot of demons. It says looking back, he wouldn't change anything. Says that he's the voice of reason. He says that Darby, by signing the contract, this is Mox is going to do what he's got to do. So just stay down. After that, the Proud and Powerful Santana Ortiz take on the Best Friends, Chuck and Trent. Early on, either team didn't have a clear advantage. Going to the break, the Best Friends finally take control. This is a welcome change because usually going into breaks like that, it's usually the heels who take control, and it's the face team that usually ends up winning the match in the end. Proud and Powerful work on Trent's back after slamming him into the apron. He was in the ring for a very long time. Ortiz got caught in a roll-up, and Proud and Powerful lose the match. I don't know what the hell happened. It happened so fast that I just saw the roll-up. Next, MJF shows off his office, yells at everyone, says his campaign is over when the title is around his waist. Then Matt Hardy comes out to say he wanted to be his best. He wants to be the best of Matt Hardy. Says he wants to be himself. He's been helping Private Party on and off screen. Says he wanted to help Sammy, but Sammy didn't want to leave Jericho for the help. Sammy tries to sneak up from behind Matt. Matt catches him, and Matt just beats the crap out of him for a little bit. Sammy throws him into the ring post, which you could hear clearly was a thud. And then Sammy, after Matt had already set up a table, Sammy had beat up on Matt, put him on the table, threw a chair at him so hard it busted him wide open. And then Sammy decides to go up on the stage and do a flip through Matt through the table. Matt is bleeding everywhere. I don't think he was supposed to do that. Bust him open like that bad. You'll see why later. Backstage, Santana and Ortiz take a sledgehammer to Trent's mom's van and makes it look like a drive-by. I mean, they just pound the crap out of it. They spray paint it. I guess that's revenge. Then it's John Silver and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order versus Cody and Matt Cardona, who's making his in-ring debut. Cody is up early with a huge hanging facebuster. Cardona gets in, takes a small whooping. Cody gets whipped into the ring post and looks like he injures his ribs because they throw him and he slides on the ring and he hits the post. They work on Cody's ribs for pretty much the remainder of the match. Cardona tags in and gets dominated again. But in the end, Cardona with the radio silence, formerly known as the Rough Rider, for the win. When Cody's walking away, Scorpio Sky stops him and points at the title and pretty much mumbles, "I'm coming for that." So I guess next week it's going to be Scorpio Sky versus Cody for the TNT title. Next, it's Sammy Guevara running bumper for the break with his cue cards about Orange Cassidy and how much he sucks. After the break, it's the AEW Debate 2020 between Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. And Eazy-E, Eric Bischoff, is the moderator. Now, this is the first time in 22 years that he's been on TNT television. Eric says, question 1, why do you hate each other so much? Chris says he despises Orange, says he's a ginger jackass who plays pocket pool. Orange has no response. Next question was, who's the bigger wrestler? Jericho says, who's the better wrestler? Jericho says he's the best. Orange still doesn't say a word. Next one was, what about the sea levels rising? Jericho says nothing. Orange decides to answer this question with a real answer. It was a very long, drawn-out explanation. And it was true, what he said. Jericho looks stunned when he says it. The next question was, why is Orange so popular? Jericho says he's a pimple. He's going to pop him like a pimple next week. No one likes Orange. Orange does not respond. The last question was, why does this rematch mean so much? Orange tells Chris to shut up. Orange says that he doesn't care about Chris, but he cares about their match next week. Says, what happens to Chris when he loses to a guy who puts his hands in his pockets? Hager attacks Orange, and Jericho hits him with the Judas Effect elbow and lays him out. Next, Dr. Britt Baker says Big Swole opponent that she has to take on before she can get to her is, she says Reba, but it's Rebel. So it's Rebel versus Big Swole right now. Rebel surprises Swole with a few moves, but misses a moonsault. Big Swole hits Dirty Dancing and gets the 1, 2, 3. Then we get to the main event. It was Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin for the AEW World Heavyweight title. Mox just slugs Darby, knocks him out. It looks like it knocked him out as he falls to the ground. Darby gets back up. And then Moxley just knocks him down repeatedly. And Darby just keeps getting back up. Several times throughout the match, Moxley tells him to stay down. Darby makes a comeback using the ropes for leverage and tries to break Moxley's hand. He hits a code red, but Moxley kicks out at 2. Wardlow comes out, and MJF hits Moxley with the belt from behind the referee's back. But he only gets 2. Moxley was busted open from the title belt shot. It wasn't too bad. It was. Darby tries a second coffin drop, but Mox catches him in a sleeper. Mox hits a pile driver. Darby kicks out at 2. There's a lot of near falls in this match. Mox finally hits Darby with the paradigm shift. Moxley retains his title. And so ends this episode of Dynamite. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And remember, always be elite.